Hey, Kate, what did you eat last night?
I had a kale and shaved Brussels sprout salad with almonds and chipotle rubbed chicken.
Wow, with chipotle rubbed chicken. That sounds really good.
And it was like there was a mustardy dressing on there. Yeah, the Brussels are raw, and I don't normally eat raw Brussels sprouts, but they're chopped up finely. I did them in the food processor, and the kale is also raw. And there's some kind of, I think, cotija cheese in there as well, and the almonds and the chipotle chicken and the mustardy salad dressing and the spicy chipotle chicken. It's great. It's actually a recipe from Marcella on the Food Network.
Marcella!
Vialdad. I can't remember her last name. I apologize, but she's the only Marcella on the Food Network. She's on the kitchen. But it was from her show, Mexican Made Easy, I think. And it's really, really, really tasty.
Nice.
Yeah. How about you?
I made broccoli balls, Kate.
Well.
Yeah, super easy. Again, because it's basically super easy stuff that low prep, and you throw it all into a food processor. So it was basically 4 cups of broccoli, and I steamed that. And then I chopped it up in the food processor, threw it in a bowl. It has 1 cup of raw almonds that you process in the food processor, then throw that in the big bowl. Then a bunch of basil, a bunch of parsley, garlic, cayenne pepper, and then 2 large eggs. You mix it all together, you get it all gooey, you form it into balls. Oh, it has Parmesan cheese too, that I threw in there.
Yum.
And mix those into little balls, bake them, and you're done. And this one came with this sort of really simple garlic and tomato sauce, which is basically olive oil, onion, garlic. You fry it up a little bit, then put your tomatoes in, and just let all the sort of excess water boil off. And then that's your little dipping sauce for the broccoli balls. And what I love about these broccoli balls, it's sort of what I love about most balls, they're just so good for a snack during the day.
Yeah.
I can carry them anywhere. They're tiny, they're small. You can obviously make them as big or as small as you want. God, they're filling, and for a vegetarian dish, they just have a lot of weight. Like, they have density. It doesn't feel like you're actually eating rabbit food. And the almonds just give it this really nice flavor along with the Parmesan. Really, really sweet.
I can imagine. That sounds delicious. I bet it would be good with, like, a ranch dip as well.
I bet it would. And a blue cheese, maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
You know I don't like to have things dip into other things.
No, I understand. You're not a fan of the dip.
Welcome to another episode of You Won't Believe What I Ate Last Night. I am Rick Fiore.
And I'm Kate DeVore.
And this is our ongoing conversation about food, health, weight management, and our endeavor to be and stay healthy in a really tasty world.
With love, kindness, and compassion towards ourselves and others.
Today, we are talking about 2017 Holiday Eating Survival Guide. The holidays are coming.
They're coming.
Kate, did you know what today marks?
I don't.
Today marks that you only have 41 days left to do all of your Christmas shopping.
Oh my God. Okay. Thanks.
You only have 9 days to prepare your Thanksgiving meal.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks.
Are you feeling more stressed?
Well, actually, no. Someone else is preparing my Thanksgiving meal, so that's cool.
Sweet. So if you're listening to this podcast today, it's airing on November 15th, so you know how much time you have. So,
all right, good to know.
This is our annual holiday survival guide. How to survive the holidays. How to survive all the holiday stress and anxiety and everything that goes along with it. I don't know about you, but I generally have a sense of feeling like there's way too much to do. I generally am fatigued about the holidays approaching, and I sort of just want to run and hide sometimes. How about you?
Yeah, it's interesting because I think a lot of people have that feeling, and I know you do. I really don't, because I leave my hometown like substantially before Christmas, and so I miss a lot of that. You know, I think if I were home for the holidays and in my regular city, I would probably do a lot more socializing, but I miss a lot of it. And my general routine for holidays is very peaceful and relaxing. So I don't have that. I really like it.
Oh, that's
but it's
sweet.
But it is different, and there's a lot going on. So I think it's helpful to remember that we can have positive stress as well as negative stress.
Right.
And both of them affect us. So for me, there's very little negative stress. Sometimes the shopping part, depending. Some years I shop for people and some years I don't. So sometimes if I'm feeling like I can get stressed around that, but it's not as stressful for me as I think it is for you.
Well, speaking of that, I thought I'd throw out some fun facts. Are you ready for these?
Awesome.
Kate?
I'm ready.
Did you know that shopping around the holidays is something that most people don't enjoy?
That is not surprising.
In a survey, 19% of millennials said they'd rather text with their boss on a weekend than go holiday shopping. Did you also know that the gift that you're going to get was probably on sale?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. More than 75% of respondents in a survey said that a sale would impact at least one of their holiday gift purchases. That was interesting. And 20% of people in the survey said that the gift you're probably going to get isn't what was originally planned for you. It was an impulse buy. Isn't that interesting?
Oh, that is interesting.
And here's an important fact. According to a 2016 survey, the 22% of the respondents did their holiday shopping on the toilet.
No.
Yes, exactly.
That's interesting.
That
is some impressive multitasking.
I know, I can't do it. I still like the bathroom to be a place of quiet and peace.
Yes, introducing holiday shopping into that is a whole different vibe.
Right? And then according to the USDA, this I did not know, over 244 million turkeys are raised in the U.S., with 46 million of those birds showing up on our Christmas tables and holiday tables nationwide. That's a lot of turkey.
Does that include Thanksgiving, do you think?
Yeah, it says holiday meals. Yeah.
Huh.
And then
So that's actually only about a fifth.
Yeah.
244 for that's okay. Well, that's interesting. It's a lot of turkey.
I know, right? And it says, and this is a lot of shrimp coming at you too. It says 7.3 billion shrimp are munched. At different holiday parties.
Huh.
Right?
That's interesting. Well, it makes sense. It's a sort of elegant protein that can sit out, right? A little bit, and to an extent, yeah.
Yeah. And this is a really important fact I thought our listeners would appreciate. Kate, did you know that the day after Thanksgiving is the busiest day of the year for plumbers?
No.
Yes. According to Roto-Rooter. According to Roto-Rooter, meal prep and cleanup can clog drains and garbage disposals, and guests requiring additional clothes washing, showers, and toilet flushes put a strain on a household plumbing system. The company says it experiences a 21% increase in calls over the 4-day weekend, more than any other Thursday to Sunday period in the year.
That is fascinating.
Isn't it? Well, we like to keep it real here, Kate. We get the real facts out there.
That's true.
And
none of this, yeah, exactly. The important things.
And it's estimated that 400,000 Americans will get sick from Christmas leftovers each year. That was so depressing.
Oh, God. I have a vague memory of us talking about that in our first episode on this. I haven't gone back and listened to it. But yeah, something about, that's too bad.
And here's another fun fact. The average American, which surprised me, is expected to travel 275 miles to spend the holiday with people they love.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Hold on for a second. Janice, our producer, just stepped in.
Yeah. Hey, Janice. How's it going?
Oh, she has a survey. I mean, she has a multiple choice list, Kate. This is one of your multiple choice quizzes. I know how you love quizzes.
I do love quizzes. Thanks, Janice. You're the best.
That's the best, Janice. You're going to get a nice long holiday break. All right, Kate. Here's your first question.
Okay.
In what year did candy canes come to the U.S.?
Fun question.
A, 1847, B, 1864, or C, 1903?
Wow. I'm going to say B.
No, it's A, 1847.
Wow.
They were introduced by a German-Swedish immigrant named August Imgard, and it started out as a straight peppermint candy stick, which I think I sort of knew somewhere, which is where I get the idea of a walking cane from. And it wasn't until the 1950s that a Catholic priest named Gregory Keller invented a machine that could make candy canes with the curve automatically. And that's how we got the curve.
That was a priest.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Well, good job, priest. All right, your second question.
Okay.
How many miles per hour can a wild turkey run when it is scared?
Aww. It's just bringing up all kinds of sad images.
I know,
okay.
it's terrible. All right, A, 15 miles per hour, B, 18 miles per hour, or C, 20 miles per hour?
Oh my gosh. Any of those are super impressive.
Right?
I'll go with C.
Very good. 20 miles per hour.
20 miles per hour.
Yes. Now, a little known fact that I'm sure no one knew is that domesticated turkeys, particularly ones that are bred for Thanksgiving, are heavier and simply can't run that fast.
Wait, why can't they?
Because they're domesticated, they're bred to be heavier. Their little legs aren't as strong.
I see.
You know, sort of like me. That's how I feel half the time during the year. My legs aren't strong. I'm a little heavier than I should be, and I can't run.
You're a domesticated Rick.
Okay, next question.
Mm-hmm.
Which state produces the most Christmas trees for export?
Oh.
A, California. B, North Carolina. C, Oregon.
Oregon.
Very good, Kate DeVore.
Thank you.
It is the most spirited, the report says, just under 5 million in terms of Christmas tree production. And North Carolina comes in second place with 4.3 million trees harvested.
Wow.
That's a lot of trees, eh?
Yeah. Maybe we're going to have to start leaving those trees there so we can breathe with all the environmental protection stuff that's disappearing. We're going to have to stop cutting those down.
Fake news. All right. Final question here, Kate. Who wanted the national bird of America to be the turkey and not the bald eagle? Was it A, Benjamin Franklin, B, John Adams, or C, Cher?
Benjamin Franklin.
Very good. Janice, what does Kate win? Oh, she doesn't have any prizes. I had it with her.
Thanks, Janice.
You ask someone to do one thing. I mean, she's getting paid big bucks to produce this podcast.
I know. This is why we have to have a word with Janice.
Damn it, Janice.
Exactly. Janice.
This is a tip from Kristi Churchvara, an integrative nutrition, health, and lifestyle coach who was on our show this year.
Thanks, Rick and Kate, for having me. This is a great topic. Oh, the struggle between getting the perfect, thoughtful gift, preparing the most amazing feast, having the most welcoming, warm home for your guests to enjoy, doing extra charity work that we do, and just going beyond the reaches to make everyone's holiday special. It can be so tiring and overwhelming. So what can we do to prepare? Let me ask you a question. Do you back off or stop your workouts during the winter months because you're too busy? Those should be a standing appointment on your schedule. No negotiations. And if you don't have an exercise routine, what are you waiting for? Start one tomorrow, even if it's walking 20 minutes a day. And here is a radical thought. Sign up for a challenging quest in the middle of a holiday or perhaps right after the new year. This way, you know you have to train during the holiday and stay on point with your eating. Make the commitment and see it through. How amazing are you going to feel that you've accomplished a goal, a fitness goal no less, in your first few weeks of the new year? I bet your 2018 will have a ripple effect. So do something different. Break out of those old habits. If you're hosting or even bringing a dish to someone's house for the holidays, make sure to prepare a healthy veggie dish. If you're hosting, try to do 2. Think vibrant color, maybe something different that you haven't experienced or your guests haven't tried before. Make those your main portions on your plate and kind of leave your carbs, your potatoes, and your animal protein, the smaller portions like condiment size. And here's a tip on gift giving. Pick a theme and stick with it for everyone that you are extending a gift to this year. One of my all-time favorites, foodie holiday, thanks. So that's like actual food gifts, kitchen gadgets. They could be gift certificates to a really nice restaurant, cookbooks. You get the idea. And get your sleep in, 7 to 8 hours preferably, so your body can recoup and be ready for the next day's activities. And if you indulge in that heavenly chocolate silk pie with fresh whipped cream, enjoy it. Be grateful, not guilty. So from my family to yours, have a happy, healthy holiday season, and we will talk soon.
All right, so here we go. We're moving into our do's and don'ts of the Christmas season, right? Because one of the things that's super important, as we know when we have...
And the whole holiday season, not just Christmas,
yes.
right? So Thanksgiving and New Year's, the whole shebang.
And here's the thing. Action is so important around the holidays, what you do. So it's really important to have a plan, to know some really good do's and some really good don'ts. So
yes.
I'm going to reach back into our vault from our holiday episode last year and pull out one of my favorites, which is do not sit by the buffet table at any party you go to. Just don't do it.
And what do we have a photograph of you doing right after we aired that episode?
Sitting at the buffet table. It's terrible. So that's going to be one of my don'ts this year. I'm not going to sit by the buffet table, regardless of how close a chair is.
I know. Well, a lot of times it's the standing at the buffet table. That's the other thing. Like, everybody's always hovering around it, and that's where the people are. So that's where you go.
So of course you want to.
Right. So one has to make the exodus and be like, hey, you guys, I don't want to stand by the buffet table. Can we come over here?
I'm going to be the one that suggests, let's all go out for a 20-minute walk.
There you go.
They'll be like, see you, Rick, in 20 minutes.
Exactly. We'll have fun. We'll be at the buffet table.
What might be one of your do's or don'ts, Kate?
Well, these are actually borrowed from friends of mine. So I know that our friend Lou has a policy where he will eat before he goes to a party.
Really?
So that he doesn't eat too much at the party.
That is a good policy.
Yeah, so he's like full when he gets there. I know. It's a pretty good idea.
It is a good idea. When you told me that, I just got sad because I thought I like to go to holiday parties to eat.
Well, indeed.
More so than maybe even possibly the people. I don't know.
Well, it is the fun part. It's true.
Wow. One of the other things I was reading about tips from experts online, simply don't drink.
Oh.
At all. And I thought, there's a lot of value in that because it's so many extra calories. So I'm possibly thinking about that. Because also, there's the whole thing about drinking and driving nowadays that at the end
nowadays,
because it used to be so cool and fun years ago.
That was what they would lead us to believe. Yeah,
pretty much. But I was thinking, I can't drink a lot when I go to a party because of driving. So I'm actually thinking it may actually just be something that's pretty easy to eliminate because I can't do that much of it. So that's what I'm thinking.
That's a really great point. Because I tend to not be the driver when I go, so that doesn't help me.
Right.
The other advantage to not drinking, in addition to the calories of the alcohol itself, is, of course, it lowers your inhibitions, and you're like, fuck it. Oops.
Now we have to label our podcast as explicit, Kate, on all the sites.
Explicit. Let's say more bad things. Yeah, but you're like, oh, well. Yeah. It tends to lower one's inhibitions.
Totally. Where you're famous for saying, just don't throw your arms up and say, oh, well, I've screwed it all up. Might as well just eat it all.
Totally right. Another thing that I witnessed my friend Brad do recently, which was amazing. He was over for, I had a birthday party for my mom this year, and I made, you can imagine, a whole bunch of delicious snacky type things. And he, God love him, had decided that he was going to have a plate that was a reasonable plate full of tasty things. And then he was going to throw his plate away, throw his napkin away. Well, I guess they weren't. They probably were not throwaway plates, but whatever.
That'd be awesome.
He just hurled it to the ground and smashed it.
Oh,
And
my
he was
china
like,
in the
I'm done.
trash.
Exactly. But no, he was like done. That was it. He was
Wow.
finished. And even when I kept bringing out other things and I'm like, hey, don't you want to try one of these? He was like, no, I'm done.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah. So the idea would be have one plate and that's it.
And you're done.
And then just you're finished.
D is done. D for done.
Yeah.
All right. I like that. It still makes me a little bit sad, but I'm going to consider it.
Is there any form of limiting gorging that is not going to make you sad?
Hey, I think you've touched on my problem.
I don't think there is. So I think we need to remove that from the equation because that's going to just be a given.
Oh God.
Oh, you guys, I'm so sorry I have this cough. We're going to try to edit as many as we can out, but we're not going to get all of them. And I keep trying to hit the cough button and failing. So my apologies that I have this cold here.
Here's a tip I got from online. You ready for this, Kate? I really want your opinion on this.
Yes, I'm ready to give my opinion.
Zip yourself into your favorite pair of slim-fitting pants once a week. And note how they fit. Too tight? Adjust your eating and exercise habits accordingly. Just right? Keep up the good work. I think I've lost her. Hello? Ground control to Major Tom. Anything? She's just sitting here shaking her head, people.
I have nothing to say about that. I mean, it's fine. It does make sense. Actually a very good measurement tool. It's probably better than a scale. I do think it makes sense.
Okay.
It just makes me want to punch someone. Yeah, but it makes total sense. Right. And back to the taking one plate thing, that's super challenging for me because I'm a grazer. I like to graze.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
my favorite kind. We do that all the time. Like just put out a whole spread of delicious things and nibble for 2 hours.
It's one of our favorite things to do.
Yeah, totally. So the idea of just eating and being done eating after like 10 minutes and then no more eating.
I don't think
That's
I've ever
tough.
put those two words together, done eating.
Right? When someone brings out the new delicious thing, no, I'm done eating.
Who says that? I was often thinking,
Brad.
Where was I? Oh, when where was I? I was with you, Kate. We were on vacation. We were eating somewhere where like the meal stopped. Like they just brought you what they brought you and then it sort of ended. And I sort of love that idea. I'm like, God, I wish that could
Yes.
happen to me in life more often, that I just get brought what I get brought and it's over.
Yeah. Another idea.
Yeah.
I have one more.
Great.
Yep, I have another one. Is if you are going to a party where you bring something, which is common, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bring something that's mostly healthy that you like to eat.
I like that one. That's a good one. Mostly healthy.
Not super healthy because, that's
holidays.
too sad. But something that's healthier than a lot of the stuff you might be drawn to. And when you go back up to the buffet and you want to nibble some more, nibble on the healthy thing that you brought that you love.
Oh, I like that idea. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, here's one of the things I've been thinking about that I'm going to do, and I want people to do this for me, is that I always love when you go to a party and you ask, what can I bring? Can I bring anything? And the host so often says, don't bring anything. I'm not going to this time. I'm not going to bring anything because I generally find there's so much food at parties, right? That there's so much that goes to waste. And then there's also all the food pushing that happens after a party where the host is trying to get the food out the door to get people to take it. So I just think it's a
Right.
great thing, even unless they specifically say something like a bottle of wine, right? They're like, oh, if they come up with, oh, you don't need anything, you don't need me to bring anything, great. And I think that's a great thing to really start listening to with people, because you know how many times people say that and people still feel the need, because we've been trained well by our parents to show up with a gift in hand.
Well, and I'm not going to go to a party and not bring a hostess gift, but it's possible to bring something that's not food.
Exactly. Yes, totally.
Yeah. See, this is the moment where it would be great if we were crafty or you know what I mean?
Yes.
And like a couple years I did this, like I made infused olive oil and I bought these cute little bottles. And so when I would go to someone's house, I would bring this jar of infused olive oil. And so something that's still edible, but that's for them to save and use later, not for the party.
Oh, that's
so stuff
great.
like that.
God, that was crafty of you.
I know.
Yeah, I am not crafty. Never have been.
Yeah, I go through phases. I kind of want to be, but it's so much work and I don't really have the skill, so it takes forever. But yeah, so I think, consider other forms of a hostess gift if you don't want to show up empty-handed.
Yes,
even flowers is lovely.
Flowers. Little soap or something.
Right.
Something for the kitchen, a nice little dish towel. Always tons of great ideas.
Yeah, that is a good idea because you're right. People are ending up with all these leftovers, and it'll help the host, too, if they don't have another plate of cookies in their house.
Totally.
Yeah. This is our tip from Vicki, Shanta, Retelny, lifestyle nutritionist who was our guest on the show earlier this year. She says, the key to managing your health and happiness over the holidays is to learn to say no. Be selective with after-work events, weekend holiday parties, and even treats at the office. By choosing not to go out 3 nights a week or to do both weekend nights of holiday parties, you'll be better rested and save excess calories by foregoing the party food and drinks. It's empowering to make choices that are better for you over the holidays, as you'll have more energy for gift giving, planning, and cooking the healthful meals and connecting with others at appropriate times. Plus, take time for physical activity over the holidays as the occasional indulgences will not end up on your waistline, and you'll have more energy for all of the holiday demands. Take daily walks, keep up your gym routine, or ride your bicycle to or from work for exercise.
So we ask listeners to send in recordings of what they ate, and here is a really fun recording from 2 listeners, Emmy and Marlene.
Hi, Emmy.
Hi, Marlene.
So we're here in Fenwick Island, Delaware, correct?
Correct.
As you can hear the roar of the ocean behind us. And we had a fun dinner last night, right?
We had a delicious dinner last night.
And where did we go? What was the name of that place?
We went to Smitty McGee's.
Smitty McGee's, yes. And I was a little hesitant because I'm thinking bar food, meh. What were you thinking?
I was 10% nervous too, but then I thought, well, it'll probably be a lot of fried things, and fried things are really delicious.
Delish.
So I thought, if all else fails, we will eat something fried and drink something cool, and all will be well.
So what did you order?
Well, we decided to order these tasty, crispy spinach artichoke wontons.
Yes, instead of a spinach artichoke dip, they put the dip inside of a wonton, lightly fried them, and then they served it with a little sour cream, right?
And I must say that the artichoke mixed with the spinach was oddly fresh. I know that sounds surprising.
Yeah.
But it was fresh inside this little crispy wonton.
Yeah, and they weren't like super filling or greasy. It was tasty. And then we both ordered different things. So what did you order? And then I'll tell everybody what I ordered.
I ordered this delicious crab soup, which I have to say was filled with vegetables, which I love. I just love a vegetable soup, and I'm very fond of the crab. So to have such a hearty soup was really lovely because it just felt very nourishing.
And I'm not a big crab fan, and I have to say, in my one bite,
it was hearty.
It was satisfying.
It felt like a healthy little antidote.
Yeah.
A little bowl of health, if you will.
Yes, to go along with our sangrias that we had all afternoon and our massive cheese plate. And then I ended up ordering the fish tacos, which were, again, like quite nice and not heavy, but very filling and
well cooked.
Well, perfectly cooked.
Appreciate that.
I like the little creme sauce that was with it.
Yes.
It wasn't too filled with tomatoes and, all that green stuff, so that was good for me.
I felt that it was a well-layered taco because it had a bit of kick, it had a bit of crunch, and then the shrimp were nicely cooked and then wrapped in a nice little tortilla. It was a good little package, well constructed. And there was a band. And we were probably the youngest people in Smitty McGee's last night. I think we were worried that there was going to be filled with 18-year-olds, but in fact, I think that we were...
We felt like we were 18 compared to everybody else that was there.
We were the young girls.
Young whippersnappers.
Smitty McGee's.
Smitty McGee's in Delaware.
Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day.
So, Rick, do you have any sort of plan for your personal strategies for navigating this holiday season?
I do. There's 2 things I'm going to keep up with, one of which is my exercise routine. I'm going to spend an hour on the treadmill every day because I've been doing that pretty consistently, and I'm just committed to that not falling away once the holiday season starts. So I'm committed to that. And then I'm also committed to this idea of really gauging when all of my holiday eating is going on and then making sure that whatever I eat prior to that meal is light and sort of, healthier food. Because I think obviously wherever I go to eat, whether it's the dinners out or friends' houses, those meals are going to be heavier. They're going to be richer. So I think that's what I'm really excited about this year, is balancing it that way.
And I think that is a really good way to balance, is plan ahead. And if you know you're going to have something more caloric or whatever, that the rest of the day and the next day you don't.
Yeah,
that makes total sense. Here, I have a question for you about the exercise thing. So I know you tend to travel at some point over the holidays, as a lot of people do, as you just said. Most people, like whatever that was, in your data, in your little info. So how you're not going to have your treadmill. So what do you do if you're away for a week? How do you maintain your exercise?
I know for the week over Thanksgiving that I'll be gone, I'll still be able to walk every day. So that's really good. Now, I'm not sure where I'll be over Christmas, but I'm hoping wherever I go will either be a hotel or some place that has a gym. That's my goal. So I haven't figured that out. So I got one of the weeks covered, just not the other one yet.
Yeah. So if you're staying at someone's house, you would just make a point of walking.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's also walking in the fall and the winter is one of my favorite times to walk too. Because I love working up the heat in the cold.
Yeah. Cool.
How about you?
Well, I have a couple of things that are issues for me because, as I said, I tend to miss a lot of the holiday party season at home. So there's a couple of big things. One of them is the constant presence of a cheese plate. Now, I know that's shocking to you, but I tend to be a fan of the cheese. And so
I am blown away.
Cheese plate is a big part of my holiday. And so my mom and I go to Zabar's in New York and we buy all these cheeses and we set it out every afternoon, like around 3 or 4, and we have a little cheese plate. And then I take all these other cheeses up to Connecticut when I go up to Star's place, and then we have cheese there the whole time too. And the cheese plate only happens on the first day on our arrival. It's part of the ritual, but then the rest of the cheese is in the fridge the whole time. And so, there's a lot of ad hoc cheese plates. And so my plan is to simply is cheese plate restraint. That's actually my plan, is to have just a little piece of each cheese, like that vacation that you just alluded to where people bring you stuff and we're done, which we're going to be doing an episode about next year, which is why we're not talking more about it. But there was cheese involved in that vacation, and they would just bring you a little piece of each cheese. Imagine that.
God forbid.
And so that's my plan, is I'm going to put a little piece of each cheese on my plate and be done. So I'm going to follow that strategy.
Wow.
I'm not going to keep going back to the cheeses. I'm going to have one serving of each one that I want, and that's it. So that's my first one.
Can I tell you how I feel about that? That's not even...
Does it make you sad?
It does. It's not even my plan, and it makes me sad.
I'm okay with it because I still get all the cheese.
I get it. I'm down with it.
And we've talked in these podcasts before about how you get most of the pleasure out of foods in the first few bites.
Yeah.
So I'm going to really work with that.
Love that.
I did that last year, and it was really effective. So that's definitely the first one. And then the second challenge I have is that I do spend time around New Year's at a friend's house where they just have sugary snacks out at all times. You can't walk through the house without finding cookies and candies, and it's usually good stuff too, because it's easy at this point to resist the stuff that's not great. But there's just all these tins of stuff.
It's like a sugar gauntlet.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So my plan with that is not to avoid them, but not to just nibble on them as I'm passing by. So they're going to have a place. It's going to be, it's snack time, it's dessert time, rather, I should say, whatever. But it's not just because I'm walking from one room to the other.
No drive-by snacking.
Yes, no drive-by snacking. That's exactly the plan. So
that's a good
if I'm going to have a snack, I'm going to have a snack. But I'm not going to do it mindlessly just because it's there.
Nice. I like that one. That's great.
Yeah. So those are my two, because those are my biggest challenges, I'd say, for myself around the holidays. They're less around the parties and more around that.
I get that. Awesome. Well, we can't wait to hear how you guys are handling your holiday stress and eating. Let us know. Leave us a message. Send us on our Facebook page. Send us a recording on your phone and send it to YWBWIALN@gmail.com. Remember, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe.
Yep, and
review us.
Subscribe on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, and YouTube. Those are the places that you can subscribe, and we really value your subscription, not just your download. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a great
Happy
holiday.
holidays!